Simon Cowell has long been recognized as one of the most influential figures in modern entertainment. Known for his blunt honesty and sharp judgment on global talent shows, he built a career defined by success, discipline, and an unrelenting focus on work. For years, his personal life stayed in the background while his professional image dominated headlines. However, behind the fame and television spotlight, a deeply personal journey was unfolding, one that would shift his priorities from global entertainment to the intimate world of fatherhood, love, and emotional growth in ways few could have expected. Rise of a media mogul and public identity. Simon Cowell's rise in the entertainment industry was built on bold decisions and an instinct for identifying talent. As a judge on major music and television competitions, his comments often became viral moments, shaping public opinion and careers. He became a household name, synonymous with both criticism and opportunity. His business empire expanded across television, production, and music management, reinforcing his reputation as a powerful industry figure. For decades, his life revolved around work commitments, travel schedules, and high-profile projects, leaving little space for family life or personal reflection beyond his professional world. A relationship that changed everything. In 2013, Simon Cowell's personal life entered a major turning point when he began a relationship with Lauren Silverman. The situation drew widespread media attention due to its complicated circumstances, including public reports of her previous marriage and subsequent divorce proceedings. The story quickly became a global headline, placing Simon under intense scrutiny. Despite the controversy, the relationship continued, and soon it was revealed that Lauren was expecting a child with him. What began as a media storm eventually settled privately, but it marked the beginning of a new and irreversible chapter in Simon's life: the birth of Eric Cowell. On February 14, 2014, Simon Cowell became a father for the first time with the birth of his son, Eric Philip Cowell. Named in honor of Simon's late father, the child's arrival carried deep emotional significance. The moment represented more than just parenthood. It symbolized continuity, legacy, and emotional reconnection with family roots. Simon, who had once believed fatherhood was not part of his future, found himself unexpectedly transformed by the experience. The birth of Eric shifted his outlook on life, introducing a new sense of purpose that extended beyond fame, wealth, or professional success. Adjusting to a new life as a father, following Eric's birth, Simon Cowell gradually began reshaping his lifestyle. His once work-centered schedule started to include time dedicated to parenting responsibilities. He reduced certain professional commitments and made conscious efforts to be present during important moments of his son's early life. Activities such as bedtime routines, family outings, and simple daily interactions became meaningful priorities. Although he continued working in television, his identity slowly evolved. The man once defined by industry power began embracing a more grounded role, discovering fulfillment in everyday moments shared with his growing child. Early observations and quiet concerns. As Eric grew older, Simon began noticing subtle differences in his development. Around the age when most children start forming words and simple sentences, Eric was still mostly nonverbal. At first, Simon assumed it was simply part of natural variation in childhood development. However, as time passed, the pattern remained consistent enough to raise quiet concern. Although family and friends reassured him that children develop at different paces, Simon's instinct as a detail-oriented observer made him more attentive. He began paying closer attention to behavior, communication cues, and emotional responses, searching for understanding and reassurance. The uncertainty surrounding Eric's development led Simon Cowell to seek information and understanding. He read extensively about child development and explored possible explanations for delayed speech and sensory sensitivity. Despite receiving general reassurance from others, he found himself thinking deeply about his son's future and well-being. These concerns often stayed with him into the night, reflecting a growing emotional investment in understanding Eric's unique needs. Rather than viewing the situation with fear, Simon approached it with curiosity and determination to support his son in the best way possible. A defining family experience on holiday. A family holiday when Eric was around 4 years old became a turning point in Simon's understanding. What was intended as a relaxing experience turned overwhelming for the child. The environment, filled with noise, unfamiliar food, and constant activity, appeared to distress him significantly. Eric struggled to adapt, eventually becoming visibly overwhelmed by sensory stimulation. In one moment, he covered his ears and withdrew from the environment entirely. This experience deeply affected Simon, making him realize that his son experienced the world in a fundamentally different way than many children his age. Acceptance and a shift in perspective. Following this experience, Simon Cowell began to reevaluate his expectations of parenting. Rather than focusing on conventional milestones, he shifted toward understanding and acceptance of Eric's individual needs. He recognized that fatherhood was not about meeting predefined standards, but about adapting to a child's unique way of experiencing life. This realization brought emotional growth and a new sense of responsibility. Instead of trying to shape Eric into a traditional framework, Simon focused on creating an environment where his son could feel safe, supported, and understood without pressure or judgment. A changed outlook on life and legacy. Over time, Simon's experiences as a father influenced how he viewed both life and his industry. His understanding of differences in communication and sensory processing expanded his empathy toward individuals who may not fit traditional expectations. This perspective subtly influenced his approach to entertainment, talent, and opportunity. Beyond his career, he found deeper meaning in personal connection and family life. The journey with Eric reshaped his identity, revealing a more reflective and emotionally aware side of a man once known primarily for his sharp public persona. Conclusion: love beyond expectation. Simon Cowell's journey into fatherhood reveals a transformation shaped by love, challenge, and acceptance. From a life dominated by fame and business, he stepped into a role that required patience, understanding, and emotional depth. His experiences with his son Eric redefined what success meant on a personal level, shifting focus from public achievement to private connection. While his career remains significant, it is his role as a father that has brought lasting change. In embracing his son's individuality, Simon discovered a more meaningful version of life grounded not in fame, but in unconditional love.